stream and I finally got out into the garden again. Oh, honestly, it feels so good to be able to get outside. It finally stopped raining. We had a good weekend of decent-ish weather, and I got out into the garden and had to get on with a fair bit of work. There's so much, even though it's winter and it's in the middle of winter, and for a lot of people, the gardening season's ended, but there's just so much to be doing still, and there's so much you can be getting on with, and that's what I've been doing today. I mean, I'll have a video update tomorrow on all the stuff that I was up to today. Leslie, how are you doing? How are you feeling at the moment? I texted Dean a couple of days ago, and he was still not feeling too great. So how are you feeling at the moment? Because it's hit him quite badly, hasn't it? So let's see who else is coming. We've got 11 people, 3 likes. As you're coming in, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like, I'd really appreciate it. Rough. I can imagine. It's not pleasant at all. It's not pleasant at all. Um, we, I can't. I don't know if you remember, but we got COVID back early part of this year, and it was horrible. I mean, I think for about 2 months, I was in a bad state for about 2 months. But I don't envy it. It can't be easy. How are the kids coping? So let's see who else is popping in. We've got 11 people, 7 likes. Let's hope everyone's keeping well and safe. How's everyone been getting on? How's everyone been this week? How's everyone getting on with their gardens? How's everything in general going with people? Let's have a little bit of a catch up and make sure everyone's okay and doing well. I mean, I don't know what happened, but earlier on this week, I just completely lost my voice. So, on Tuesday, Wednesday time, my voice just disappeared. Do you know, I feel fine. I don't feel unwell or anything, but my voice completely disappeared. We've been doing the home testing things for COVID as well, and we're all right. But yeah, let's see who else is coming in. Um, So what I was saying about the garden today, we've got a good fair bit of work, quite a bit of productivity done actually, and cleared up some of the gourd vines that were hanging over the privet and hanging over around the new chicken house and that sort of area. So got a fair bit cleaned up on that side. And as I was pulling one of the vines, I gave it a good yank, right, and then I heard this massive thud, and lo and behold, out of nowhere, I found this what's it called? A shark fin melon. Honestly, it must have been about that big. It was huge. It's the biggest shark fin melon that we've ever grown, and it just fell out completely. On it, we weren't expecting it at all, and it just completely just grew out of nowhere. So we're gonna open that up tomorrow. I don't think it's still going to be any good because we've left it so long, and it's probably started. The seeds have matured and it's got a bit stringy inside, so I don't know how well it's going to be. So that was a nice surprise, though. I mean, it's huge. I'll get some pictures up on Facebook and on Twitter, and you can have a look at them. But it was honestly a monster. I don't know how we missed it as well. Andrew Yates, how are you doing, bro? Hope you're keeping well. Stay healthy, eat well, think well. Let's not live in fear. We're strong. Oh, brilliant message. I like that. Very nice. Um, they stay out of the way upstairs. They've been negative the whole time. It's not easy for them as well. Do you know when the parents are ill? Um, because especially probably, I'm guessing it's the same with your house. But do you know, as soon as do you know, if my wife gets ill, it's like the whole family's just falling apart because she's so important. So I can imagine, if you're ill, the whole family's gonna really struggle. But I'm just hoping you guys get over it really quickly. Um, and how are your parents and everyone coping? Are they okay? Pound for Pound TV, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for coming in and joining us. Um, Ian Venables is here. Ian, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Just missed you. Got some good works done on the plot today. Whether not too good, not too shabby in the southeast. It's not been bad. I mean, it's been dry. We've been having the ground's sodden. It's absolutely, you can hear the water squelching as you walk in. It's that wet. But it was nice to be able to get outside. It was really nice to be able to get outside. Davey, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Hope life's treating you well. And it's been a while since you've been in. Hope everything's good. Um, my parents are managing. It it's hard for them as well, because you gotta stay really away because that's the one thing that I was worried about most when we got it. If mum got it or something like that. I mean, she got it, but it was just after her first jab, so she wasn't that bad. I think that took the edge off it. But so my jobs for the hopefully it's going to be a nice day tomorrow as well. And if it is a nice day, then I'm out in the garden again, um, and I'm going to be today. I raked up loads of leaves, pulled back the loads of vines all over the place, cleaned them up, got them into a nice order. So tomorrow my job is to sheet mulch my new garden bed. So where down the side of the garden where I created a new bed or create turn that whole area into a veg growing place. My new job is to turn that, just sheet mulch all of that because there's some dandelions and stuff popping through. So I want to sheet mulch that and keep that protected over winter. And there's some garden paths that we've got, and I'm in two minds whether about taking those garden paths out and just mulching that, filling it up with compost, well, hot semi broken down compost, and planting in them. Because we did that with one of the beds between, so one of the paths between the main two beds at the top. So we got rid of the grass pathway between, and just put some planks down, and we walk across the planks, and it just gives us like 3 foot of extra growing space. So I think that's what we're going to do at the bottom there. Dean, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? I've been texting you, so um, I know you're not well. How are you feeling at the minute? Any better? Um, don't think I can manage the Leslie. I don't blame you. Really take it easy because it does take it. It does take it out of you. Um, Dave is doing all good, putting the allotment to bed for the winter and pruning plum tree, tidying up. With your plum tree, one of the things about stoned fruit trees, so fruits like plums, nectarines, peaches, cherries, they do better if you prune them in towards late spring, early summer, because they can get infected quite easily. So they do better with stone fruit trees. It's better to prune them later rather than in winter. So things like apples, pears, uh, other kind of fruit, they do really good pruned in winter. So just bear that in mind as well. So let's see what's coming. Andy Dawson, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Uh, Ivan, how are you doing, man? Thank you very much for coming in. Um, on another note, Andrew's saying I discovered a guy called John Kempf. He did he did talks on biological soil science approach to chemicals. Very good stuff, agricultural, but does talk on small scale growing. John Kempf is absolutely brilliant. He's done a lot on regenerative agriculture. Um, he brings on some really good guests as well. So every now and then he'll do a weekly podcast, but he'll bring on a real life farmer, a real life grower, and he'll interview them and talk to them about the stuff that they're doing. So he's been doing some really good work actually. Um, Bobby, how are you doing, man? Thank you very much for coming in. How are you keeping? Uh, hey up and I'll do another northern greetings. um, let's see. So Dean's got a headache, chest infection, but getting sleep patterns better. Are the doctors giving you anything for your chest infection? Because I know they're a bit strict about handing out antibiotics and stuff. Thanks for the pointers on the plum. No problem at all. Uh, Planning on pruning pear trees tomorrow, so thanks for the tip. Yeah, so no, pear trees, plum trees. I see. I was just one of the things I featured in my garden video today was my pears and plum trees, but uh, I've let them grow really tall because my garden's like a wind tunnel, so wind comes sweeping up the bottom, and they funnel between some massive sycamore trees on either side, and they just sweep up my garden. So I've left my apple trees and pear trees and a couple of buddleias as well grow quite tall to give me a little bit of protection from some of that wind. Um, but they do need a bit of they do need a bit of a clean up some of the trees and especially do you know if you get codling moth or anything like that on your apple trees, one good thing to do is to clean up some of the leaves around the base because the codling moths they overwinter in the leaf litter, and then it comes spring the grubs just climb up, and it's a good time if it's still not too late if you haven't already done grease banding your trees as well. That's a good thing to do. um just ordered my naga achar. Can't wait to after watching the Instagram video of you making it, Claire. Absolutely, do you know it's so hot, man. It's proper hot. You okay, buddy?
I don't feel
You
well.
don't feel well? Okay, okay, you just chill here with me. Can you close that door for me? Hmm? Close that door for me, buddy. Yeah, it's proper hot. It's absolutely awesome. It's awesome. I'm loving it. I'll tell you now. I wasn't one for really hot stuff. The chili is sort of my level, right? My wife loves the really hot stuff, but since we've been making it, and I've been picking at this naga pickle, I think my tolerance is building up, and I'm really enjoying it because before the slightest bit of chili and my head would start sweating, and because I've got a bald head, you could see you could see my head, the drip, the sweat dripping off my head, and but I'm building up a tolerance for it now, and I'm really enjoying it. um, so edge it. Oh, there you go. There's my bald head. Can I have my hat back?
I'm
No. Can,
keeping
can you close
this.
that door for me? So oh, thank you. So he's just taken my hat and gone. Okay. Um, Edge and Emma doing the proper work. The tool you sent me is now known as the. It's a really handy tool. I mean, I really like that. I really like it. It's one of my favorite bits in the garden. I need to get another one because little Zaki he's sort of claimed it for his. So if anyone else uses it and he sees us using it, that's it. It's like a war breaks out. You've used my toy. Give it me back. Give it me back. Um, uh, we're supposed to be having a dry weather in the West Midlands finally. Our gardening adventures. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in and joining us. Hope you're keeping well. I think this might be the first time you've joined us on a live stream. So, if I don't recognize your name, I don't know your name. So if you want to tell us who you are, then that's great. If you don't, that's also great. But thanks very much for joining us. You need to prune your bush. I need to prune this beard. I think it's getting a little
And
bit
you
out of
need to get
control.
down to the bottom of the comments.
I need to get down. Stop shaking the camera because I don't miss anyone comments. Let's catch up. So by the time I get home,
Well, you're missing several comments.
okay. It's okay. We can catch up with them and have a coffee. It gets dark. We've had a couple of snow warnings. Hoping for some brightness on my day off to do a big tidy up before the weather get. Sharon, I'm the same. So weekdays I've been completely housebound. By the time I get home and get these guys from school, it's dark, so we don't get out. And
We pick Fufu
oh, you pick
picks
me up.
us up, who then picks you up
Okay, so they pick me up from school. They pick me up.
from
Um,
work.
and yeah, so yeah, so I only get weekends, and the last couple of weekends well, the last few weekends we've either been doing busy doing pickles, or it's been raining and it's been way too horrible to get outside. But today, oh, I'm so thankful to have finally got outside. I'm really happy that I got outside.
I'm
I
ill
just
today.
feel, I'm buzzing just from being outside. I just needed it today. Anyway, I'll be doing bean arches on my paths to get you to make good use of wood chip paths on the plot. Something I saw on another video. Hope you're feeling much better soon. Um, One of the things that I've been struggling to get wood chip recently. I don't know what's going on. My normal tree surgeon, he's not been dropping off. Apparently, he's not getting much wood chip, chipping work. He's been doing a lot of hedging work, and I found so there was a guy trimming trees just across the road. So I asked him for the wood chip. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna hand it over, no problem." Um, then never turned up. He never tipped it. And then the day after, I saw him again, and he said, "Yeah, no problem, I'll hand it over." And again, he just didn't tip it. Last week, I found another guy chipping trees at the bottom of my street. He said he couldn't give me that load because he'd promised it someone else, and then he'd give me the next load. So yesterday, I saw him again, and I said, "Right, you promised me this load. I'm not going to give it you. I'm going to give it to someone else." So I don't know what's going on with these tree surgeons. No one's dropping me off any wood chips. So if anyone knows any tree surgeons or anyone in Leeds who wants to drop me some wood chip off, I'll be really grateful. Um, I love the flavour of Scotch bonnet, so I think I'll enjoy. Claire, these are a lot more. They're a lot more fragrant. Do you know the smell of them is a lot more fragrant. So Naga, I mean, there's hotter chilies, but Naga just has to be. I don't think you can beat them. You okay?
No.
So Sharon says she hopes you feel better, and Leslie's saying hello. You don't remember Leslie, don't you? Sky's mum. Um, that you sweated. Oh. Wendy, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in and joining us. James, hope you're keeping well. Just checked in, loving the pickle so far. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Do you know that's been we haven't got a website up, we haven't got it listed on anything, so I'm taking orders by messages. And you know, just that interaction with people, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. So angels, reptiles, how are you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks very much for coming in and saying hello. Bobby Bat, I wish the best for you and your family and your garden. All that. Thank you very much. That's very kind. I hope you're keeping well, and thank you very much for joining us. And guys, if you're not, if as you're coming in, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like for me, I'd really appreciate it. My name's Maria. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming in. Steve, how are you doing, mate? Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. It'll get there in the comments. Sorry, not used to live chats and normally miss them. Well, I'm glad you joined us tonight. How are you doing? Ian, chilies germinated well in heat propagate. Ian, I need to get my chilies sowed. It's one of the things that I keep meaning to do. You know, I was supposed to do it 2 weeks ago, but just we've been so busy with stuff over the last few weeks. Mum's just picked a load of chocolate habanero. She picked loads of habaneros and loads of nagas today. So habaneros are going in tonight without fail. I think, yeah.
What's habanero?
The brown chocolatey chili that Dad picked from the greenhouse. Mandy, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Let me catch up because I'm gonna miss people's comments and then they're not gonna be happy for not saying hello to them. I had a few days in the garden this week. Looking forward to spring soon. Only another 2 weeks and then the days start getting longer. So a couple more weeks, about 10 days, and then the days start getting longer, and we're gonna be able to. Before we know it, we're gonna be outside again. But I can't wait. I mean, I really don't like these short days.
I can't wait until my birthday, which is January the 7th.
So there's a date for your diaries, everyone. Jerusalem artichokes have died back this year. This year I'll remember not to cut them off too short so I can find them during the winter.
And I can't wait for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to come out. It's going to have Knuckles and Tails, and there's going to be Chaos Emeralds, and I can't wait for I can't wait until we find out a way to catch up on all the Marvel stuff that we've been missing
So
out.
yeah, but what have we started doing? Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
So we're gonna do the Star Wars. We're gonna do the Star Wars
And the
series.
trilogy is 3 movies, Dad. I found out
Okay,
at
trilogy.
school.
Okay, it's 9 movies, but I don't know what
3
you call.
movies.
I don't know what you call 9 movies. So 9 films. I don't know what you call that. So Nilogies.
I think you call them triple
I want
trilogies.
I think same. Same starting to change for wood chip. Yeah, I think because people have are demanding them more. This some of them are starting to charge. I mean, there was a guy who used to charge for them, but the guy who used to drop off here, I mean, he used to have to pay to get rid of them. But they've either found somewhere better to drop them, or they just don't like the look of me. Try the Facebook group Chippings and Mulch UK for wood chips. That's a good idea. That I'll have a look at that group. I don't think I'm a member of that group. Um, I haven't done anything with the way we've been. Was hoping to overwinter onions and garlic. um, Leslie, I don't blame you at all. You know, you concentrate on getting yourself better first. Uh, Tails rules. There you go. Trotter 2099 says Tails rules. Yeah, are you a fan of Tails?
I like Tails.
You like Tails. Trilogy.
Every time me and
Pat Wright's correcting me saying trilogy.
trilogy.
Yeah, so 3. Yeah, I get it. But I don't know what you call a 9 film thing.
That's what it is.
No. Oh, okay, trilogy. Okay, 3 times 3. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm waking up. Sowing chilies now. I'm overwintering a few plants, but as I can't get them germinated earlier than March, how do the chili seedlings fare in the sunshine we get in January? Bobby, you need lighting. You'll need additional lighting for them if you sow them now. If you sow them now, then what I do is I get them under heat, so they'll take a week or 2 to germinate, and while they're young, I get them under uh, get them under lights, and keep them as small as possible. But I also pinch them out really young, so they grow nice and bushy, and they stay stout little plants, and that way they're a lot easier to manage. But you're gonna have, but I keep them under lights till about March time. Saga, that's what you call the Star Wars. Ah, there you go. It's a saga.
What's a saga?
It goes on for long enough.
Like how the MCU has been going on since 3 years before I was born.
Okay. Did they?
Yeah, the first Iron Man movie came out in 3 years before I was born.
How do you know that? I don't know that.
I googled it.
You googled it. Okay. Can you Google your so I can learn that?
No.
So all good here. Hope all good with you. Love Star Wars.
No, Star Wars is better than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Monday we're doing all right, aren't we? Yeah, we're doing all right.
I don't know why Star Wars didn't.
Guardians of the Steve, man, you can't say something like that.
I don't know, but
no way.
Star Wars is better, but Guardian. The thing that confuses me in the second Guardians of the Galaxy is why didn't Star Wars keep his celestial powers? All he did was make an energy ball and play catch with his dad.
See, Star Wars, yeah, Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't even come close. I don't think.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So heat lights and yeah, Bobby. If you're starting plants now, they really do need the heat. They need the lights. I mean, we've got. I used a Mars Hydro
Star Wars
light.
has Baby Yoda, so that's wait. Guardians of the Galaxy has Baby Groot.
So
and right now he's teenage Groot.
Teenage Groot. Okay. So Mars Hydro sent me a light a couple of years ago, and the light seemed absolutely brilliant. A solid piece of kit. Second
Can
season.
Can you stop saying comments about Groot?
Second season of using them, half the bulbs don't light up anymore. I've got a Spider Farmer one that I'm going to try this year. There's another company that offered to send. That's not very nice, is it? So there's a second company that offered to send me a set of lights to test out, but they wanted to use my videos and my pictures all over their website. So I told them no. I mean, I don't mind doing the, doing a review of the light, but if they want to use my pictures, now, I don't want them to take, have that much control over who I am.
Pat Wright is watching
So
doing an MCU marathon
I'll let you know.
too.
I'll let you know how the Spider Farmer one works once I set it up this year. So what order are you going to watch the start? We're going to watch them one by one from episode 1 all the way to number 9, I think it is.
Are we gonna watch
Oh
the
dear,
ones
as a
with
Trekkie
Ray as
fan,
well?
Maria, I'm a Trekkie as well. Yeah,
What's a
definitely.
Trekkie?
But I'm a DS9 fan.
What's a Trekkie?
Star Trek. See, I like DS9 and I like so I like the Klingons. I like the Jem'Hadar.
I remember once you put on Star Trek and me and Khadija, and we did not like it at all.
See, I didn't like Star Wars when I was young either. Star Trek, sorry. So we've got loads of ones going.
We haven't seen the Eternals yet.
What's GOG? Mandy loves Yoda. I'm literally just watching the Marvel movies in order. I'm watching Guardians of the Galaxy tonight.
You
Bouncer Slab, how are you?
We haven't seen the Eternals yet, or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or WandaVision, or Loki, or Shang-Chi, or I'm lost now.
So
or the Mandalorian.
Do the lights cost too much to run? I don't think they cost masses to run. I mean, we didn't notice a massive difference. We just run one set of lights. They're LED lights, so they're low power consuming, but they are quite a decent set. Is quite expensive to buy in the first place. I got them for free.
Who's Wolf?
So I wouldn't have bought them if I didn't. I mean, I wouldn't have bought lights if I didn't get them for free. Because a good set of lights can set you back a fair bit. What I would have done in that case was just buy plants
Mandalorians.
Because it's good to have that head start if you want a decent crop.
Mandalorians.
I mean, we're picking chilies. We were picking chilies. We were picking tomatoes from about June, July time. So there were different chilies that we were picking. Tell you, can you stop pushing that because the camera shakes up and down? Look. Can you see it? It just keeps bouncing up and down. So keep your hands off it. We were picking chilies, picking tomatoes from about June-ish, and yeah, you can't without that head start. It's hard to do that sort of thing. Yes, you will get a harvest, but you'll just get a harvest later on.
I like MCU.
We're looking forward to the new Spider-Man. They're looking forward to the new Spider-Man.
I'm not, because I'm not going to be able to watch it.
You'll watch it when it comes out. What do they call the ship in DS9 that could cloak?
Can you please just catch up with the everything else in
Defiance?
The chat?
I think it was
Defiance. Leslie said it somewhere. Voyager.
Voyager is. I don't like Voyager. Voyager
Wolf is his.
Okay, sit back. Because look, you're shaking.
Elizabeth is. What does that mean by Elizabeth?
Wolf is my favourite character. Wolf was
all caught up in the MCU. What does that mean?
They're enjoying. They're enjoying the MCU.
I like the MCU.
Somebody say Mandalorians. I've never seen Mandalorians. Was it the USS Defiant?
No, it's the Mandalorian. It's the Mandalorian.
Can you stop shaking that? I've told you a few times now. Because it bounces the camera up and down, and it can make people feel seasick.
How can it make me feel seasick?
Because when images move up and down really fast, for some adults, it can make their eyes go really. But it does it to me. I get buzz-eyed, and it makes me feel seasick. So I'll look into lights, thanks. No problem at all. But spend your money. When it comes to spending money, I'm always trying to tell you guys to spend your money with caution. So I wouldn't. Look like noddy dogs when you see. You look like noddy dogs when you wobble the camera.
Noddy who?
There's these dogs that you can put on your dashboard in the car, and when you drive over bumps, the heads wobble.
Oh, Bobbleheads.
So could you start the chilies later? I thought window still will give enough free heat in early spring. Sharon, it'll give you enough heat, but the problem you're going to struggle with is is light. Light's going to be the problem. Um, you can start them. You can start them later on, but if you're going to go for something like the super hot varieties, they really need that extra long growing season. Super hot varieties like Naga, like Scotch Bonnet, and all of these kind of things, they generally produce better in the second year. So if you can overwinter them, then that's even better. Um, but yeah, I mean, milder chili varieties, green chilies, um, the the sweeter type of chilies, they are fine to start later on. So February time, start them and keep them on your windowsill, and they'll do okay. But the only problem is the lighting is the issue. I mean, we play a lot of the window dance, so in the morning it's on our front windowsill, and then in the afternoon it's on our back windowsill. So we have to follow the sun around quite a bit. The shaky makes you look like you're from Yorkshire. That's fighting talk, is that? um. So Elizabeth's seen all the Marvel movies. That's what she's saying. It's brilliant that Guardian Channel gets you into the. It's brilliant.
Having
See,
a gardening channel, and that I need lots of entertainment.
so we can talk plants and we can talk Marvel. No, come on. No, look, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. Come on.
Ow!
Up over here. Stay on this side.
Don't grab my neck.
I wasn't grab. I was trying to help you. Yeah, we love how the chats go. They start on one subject and then they end up all over the place. But it's nice to just have a chat with everyone and just enjoy a normal conversation. Spending money is right. What? Ian, I hate spending money. I hate spending money. It's one of those things that I just don't like doing.
Nearly all the cards are gone.
Nearly all the cards are gone.
And I stopped playing.
Oh, before this we were playing Monopoly downstairs, so we were having a bit of family time. It was. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually dropped some water as well.
I usually start my chilies on my sunniest windowsill in March. Just Poblano and Cane. See, Cane do what? Cane are all right. Starting a bit later on. Oh, my glasses are gone now. Poblano are a mild chili as well. So yeah, I mean it's the hotter chilies that generally cause a bit more of an issue with stuff. So you don't want glasses because glasses are there because your eyes don't work as well, and you want your eyes to work as well for as long as possible.
I just like the way glasses look.
SM Dorat, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
What
Thank you very
happened?
much for joining in. Hope you're keeping well. How often should I water my overwintered chili plants? Water them very rarely. Just check that they want a slight bit of dampness in the soil. They don't want they don't want to be overwatered at all, especially when it's cold. They don't want to be sat in cold soil or cold wet soil. So water them very rarely. Just make sure that it's slightly damp. That's all you need. The girl gardener's here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in and joining us. A massive welcome to you. A huge star over on Instagram. Hope you're keeping well. Niall Bell, I hope you're keeping well. Thank you very much for joining us. I bought Only Fools and Horses Monopoly the other day, and it's a good one for Christmas. See, we bought a dinosaur edition of Monopoly, but they've lost. Yes, we did. Ours had a T-Rex in it.
Yeah, but I don't think that was a dinosaur.
Yeah,
it just had a T-Rex.
It was a dinosaur edition because it had a T-Rex in it.
No, it wasn't a dinosaur. But it had a hat and a duck and a cat and a dog.
Yeah, but
and a car
and a T-Rex
and a boat.
See,
I want to get the Fortnite edition. We had
That's all it has to happen is they put a T-Rex in it. And it's a dinosaur edition.
And a top hat. And we had a cat one, and we had a hat. We put the hat on the cat, and then the cat on the boat, and then we did cat in the hat riding a boat. Cat in the hat riding a boat.
See, can you make compost using just card paper mixed with urine? Yes, you can. Will it be good? Personally, for me, compost should be mixed with as much different stuff as possible. So, wait, Dave, don't start pressing stuff.
Oh.
Guys, off the computer. Leave that. So, stuff like if you, I wouldn't just make it with paper and card. Um, uh, will your plants have enough nutrients? Potentially, yes, because they've got a good carbon nitrogen mix. But will they have enough of the micronutrients? I don't think so. I think you'll be lacking in a lot of the micronutrients, and you'll end up having to add in more stuff. So yes, if that's what you want, if you want a cheat, then what you're suggesting is okay. But what you need a mix of ingredients, and a better mix and a wider mix of ingredients will give you a much more nutritious and a much more balanced compost.
My shoulders. I just hurt my shoulders.
When do you start your super hots from seed? Which month? I've got some lighting. James, I'm gonna start them.
Forever.
I meant to start them a couple of weeks ago. Last year I started them on the 21st ish of December. They were okay, but they were okay. They really started ripening towards the mid September ish. That's when we started getting big holes of chilies. What I want this year is I want them a little bit earlier. So I wanted to start them in November. I didn't get a chance to do it. I was just too busy. So hopefully tonight we're gonna start some chocolate habaneros off. I'm gonna start a few nagas off as well tonight. Or if not tonight, then definitely tomorrow. Martin's got deep arms and short pockets. I couldn't get my habaneros to germinate, so thanks for the tip. Bobby, if you haven't done, did you try the tea method? Because I used to struggle with the super hots until we when we first started growing chilies at what 10 year more than 10 years ago. The super hots always took a bit more extra work to get them germinated, but then once we started doing the tea method, it just made things a lot easier. I'm keeping well, thank you everyone down your end. Thank you so much for the asars. They're fantastic. We're still enjoying them. They've been a massive hit. Absolutely. I've really enjoyed hearing the feedback from people. I mean, there's a couple of out of we've sold about 750 jars, and a couple of them have been smashed on the way, so I've had to replace them. But apart from that, the feedback has been phenomenal. But one woman did say, "Why didn't I make the naga even hotter?" I'm like, "How can you? Do you know this stuff is like fire, and you want it even hotter? Oh man, you're crazy." Um, uh, Nitin is a member of our Facebook group, and he comes into the chat quite often. And he was telling me that his sister-in-law was just dipping chips into the nagacha and just eating it like that, and he was having like a little bit and thinking, sweat pouring off him, and his brother-in-law, having tiny little samples in there, sweat pouring off him, and she's just dipping chips in and just swallowing swathes of it in one go and saying, "Oh, this is really nice," and they're looking at like, "Oh, what's going on here?" But yeah, it's hot, man. It's proper hot. But we've got stuff for the people who don't like the heat as well. We've got the garlic one that's really, yeah, it's really nice, that one. Now, bet all the best. I'm off for a cuppa and a bath. Enjoy your bath, enjoy your cuppa, and I'll see you again next week if you pop in. I'm so sorry I have to go now. Need to Leslie, you go get your rest, and I hope you feel better soon. I'll catch up with Dean. I'll drop him a text during the week and see how you guys are doing. Um, oh my god, some people do like super hot. As in my sister-in-law eats raw chilies. I'm surprised he has the stomach lining left. Um, see, I don't. Do you know? My wife eats raw chilies. My mum eats raw chilies. I didn't. I never ate raw chilies. With my rice or anything. But since we started growing our own in the last couple of years, while they're still young, you can get them, and they still haven't developed that full heat. So what I started doing was eating the younger ones and then slowly getting into it. We grew some Aji lemon this year, and they've got a funny taste to them, you know. I mean, they're called Aji lemon because they obviously look like bright yellow and the lemony shape color, but they also have a funny taste. They taste a bit lemony as well. I don't know if I like it. I can't quite tell, but they're really productive. I mean, we were growing them outside and we were getting loads on a plant, so that's a good variety of chilies if anyone's interested in them. Um, the garlic had a nice sweetness to it. The garlic's been our biggest seller. Um, absolutely, absolutely brilliant. The way the garlic. I've been surprised by the garlic. Honestly, I thought the naga would be the one that takes over, simply because it's something like a novelty and it's something that I think we're hotter than Mr. Naga. I definitely think we're a lot tastier than Mr. Naga or any of the others out there. And that's one of the comments that we've had. Do you know, the other achars that are on the market, they've got a chemically dirty smell to them. I don't think we're anywhere near. You know, when you smell ours, it smells fruity. It smells like it should do. That stuff has just got so much stuff poured into it. Um, so let's see who else here. So the only chili I can eat is Havana Gold when they aren't hot at all. See, I'm like that. I like the chilies young. If you grow them and you pick them young, you can get them. You can get the flavor without the heat. The nagachar is a good level of heat for me. Putting a bit on my plate each time, getting used to it. See, James, that's what I do. So I'll take like half a teaspoon and add it to my rice when I'm having my dinner. Um, but there's, do you know, we sent a load to my wife's aunties and cousins and stuff, and they're just dipping their chips in it. They're just dipping crisps in it and eating it with naturals and stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's crazy. Um, Loves the garlic one. Yeah, I like the garlic one. Uh, the chili one's just perfect for me. I love garlic. I eat it raw to keep immunity. Where can I purchase your lovely products? Mandy, my email. I put a short video out today, and it's got my email in it. So if you want to drop me an email, I can send them out to you, and I'll drop my email here again. Quest for truth one Gmail. No, that's not right. Gmail.com. So there's my email address. So if you drop me an email, then I can get you a product. I can get that charged out to you. Bristol Veggie Beds, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks very much for joining us. So, Ahmed Jav, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for joining us. How are you doing? How is the weather over in Medina? Hope you're keeping well out there. We're all good. Thanks very much for asking. I was just about to ask that too, but as a vegan, I need to know which ones are vegan. Um, Maria, they're all vegan, so that's one thing that I made sure that I've got a lot of vegan viewers and a lot of vegan friends. Ian's a close friend, vegan. There's quite a few, so I've made sure that there's no dietary restrictions for anyone. So there you go. They're all very suitable. So that yeah. Um, yeah. So my email address is there. So if anyone wants them, there you go. Just drop me a message and we'll get some sent out to you. International postage is a little bit difficult because couriers at the moment are just charging a fortune for international postage. So we can do it, but it's just crazy at the price that they want to charge. Um, yeah. So I'm getting cold here with it's getting cold here with the weather changing. It's getting very dusty these days. Um, my dust allergy has become horrible. Any natural remedies? Do you know? Do you know? All the wastewater. From from hotels and stuff. what happens to that wastewater? That's one of the questions I'd ask. Do you know, in hot climates, I don't understand why they don't use that to irrigate fields and stuff. But in terms of natural remedies, I'm not a great one for that. But do you take turmeric? If you're not taking turmeric, you should be taking turmeric. So there's a for any sort of coughs, colds, those kind of things. Haldi doodh, you know, warm milk, warmed up milk with turmeric powder in it, with a little bit of honey in it. That's that's brilliant for boosting the immune system. Um, I'm not great for natural remedies. It's something that I need to be learning off my mum a bit more. But haldi doodh is fantastic. And if you can get neem leaves, do you know the miswak tree? If you can get the actual leaves from the miswak tree, do you know, squeeze the juice out of the leaves and drink that. That is absolutely phenomenal for boosting your immune system. So, M. Kareem, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for joining us. Fully recommend his pickles, they're delicious. See, yeah, you said I saw your second email, and within a few minutes, you said, "I want the pickles. Here, there's the money to send them out." Yeah, quite a few people have done that. You know, they've tried them, and then within a few minutes of trying them, they've said, "Right, I want a second order." Please can you please tell me, do your jars contain tomatoes? No, they don't. No, they don't contain tomatoes. Um, the Naga one is best. See, we were discussing that. Um, Naga's very good if you like heat. Uh, for me, the chili one's perfect. um, we'll email you tomorrow. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Um, honey can help with allergies because of the pollen it contains. Local honey is good. So yeah, local honey. You should have some nice beehives out there. There's a lot of cedar honey coming from over there, being sold over here. So cedar honey is basically what is cedar? It's it's the lote tree or the jujube. It's a biblical plant as well, um, and the the bees that have just lived in cedar orchards, and they've produced the honey that's sold for what 80-90 pound a kilo over here. Is really expensive stuff, but really good stuff. Um, it's almost like that manuka honey type of stuff, but this is really nice. Before the war started in Yemen, we used to get a lot of Yemeni cedar honey, and that was really really nice stuff. Local honey is good. A couple more, another one for local honey. Um, hopefully this year I might delve into getting a beehive. Um, one of my missions this winter is to clear the bottom of the garden. There's one corner of the garden where loads of wood and loads of rubbish has just been dumped and let pile up. My aim this year is to get my composting bay built. Once I've got my composting bay built, then I can get on with you know then I can get on with putting a beehive just behind the composting bay. And if I can get a beehive in, then hopefully we'll have some honey grown, homegrown on honey. Desi mums have some of it. Yeah, they do. They really do. They've got some proper good remedies. Haldi doodh, you can't beat it. I remember I had first time I tried it, I had a chest infection once, and someone said, "Here, try this haldi doodh," and yeah, I can't believe the impact it had. Within a few days, I was feeling a lot better. Um, Elderflower tea is fantastic for allergies. I suffer from hay fever every summer and colds every winter, but not had it this year. And made them from foraged elderflower. Do you know with elderflower? Does anyone else find that elderflower or elder plants they smell? Do you know the whenever you break a leaf or anything like that, the smell that comes off an elder plant really gets to me. I don't know if anyone else finds that, but I really struggle with that smell from an elder plant. It's a real weird smell as well. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but I'm really sensitive to that plant. Um, Steve, are you off? Thanks for coming in and saying hello. Really appreciate it. We need to do. I think at the end of this month we'll do a big party. Sort of to see in the new year. We'll do a live stream where anyone who wants to come up can come up and have a chat and join in, and we'll do something like that. What do you guys think of something like that? It'll be like a no holds barred live stream. We'll go instead of me just going from my topic to Marvel to everything else. You guys can all join in, and you guys can all put in your two pennies worth and just send the conversation all over the place. I think we'll do something like that. What do you guys think? Anyone up for something like that? Um, People have been, yeah. See, cider honey's really good stuff. Uh, Belinda, how are you doing? Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you're keeping well. Turmeric is fantastic. In fact, I use it a lot for a lot of purpose, but I can't use it for myself. I suffer with epilepsy. Ah, okay. Oh, I didn't know that it does that. That's interesting. That local honey and elderflower works well because the types of pollen that cause you to sneeze and get itchy eyes is okay. So I didn't realize that elderflower has that sort of effect as well. But it's interesting, which is the same as all. Sage tea, brilliant for chest infection. This is one thing that I'm way behind on is the amount of herbs that I grow in my garden. We've got lavender, we've got mint, we've got quite a few different varieties of mint. We've got see, there's two plants I used to kill every time I planted it. So say generally with herbs, it's plant and forget. But things like sage, things like rosemary, I used to plant that every year, and every year I'd kill it. I don't know why. It's just one of those plants that just really struggled with me. Um, but last year, I think it's the first time last year or the year before. So we've got a plant that a couple of rosemary plants that are a couple of years old now, and it's the first time I've been able to do it. I don't know why, but it's one of those plants that most people just plant and forget about. I just seem to plant and kill. um, so yeah, it smells like a cat has peed on it and it sticks there. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean that smell really gets to me. It really does. It's just one of those things that it just really, really does get to me. Um, Very rich in vitamin C. So good idea. Everyone wants to come and join in, and yeah, we'll join in the mayhem. Um, Hi from Ledbury, Herefordshire. Karen, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I think Laura, I think you've been in for a while, and I didn't say hello to you. I apologise. Hope you're keeping well. Gary's Durham allotment. Gary, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hope everything's good with you, and I hope your garden's going well. Hope your life's going well, and you're doing good, mate. Andrew Jardine, thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Very good, thank you. Very, very good. I finally got, yeah, like I was saying, it's the first time I think it's been about 3 weeks at least since I got out into the garden today, and I'm just a few hours in the garden, and I feel like I'm buzzing from it. I really am. That fresh air and that activity is just really giving me a lift today that I needed. Yeah, I do feel like I'm buzzing from it. Definitely recommend growing thyme. Easy to keep alive in the right spot. Think about growing them on a cliff edge. They can tolerate a lot, but not soggy bottoms. See, I don't know what I was doing with these plants. I was just putting them in the ground and killing them. Um, Amla gooseberry good. Amla gooseberry. Amla gooseberry. Which one's Amla gooseberry? Um, Very busy at the plot. Plot update coming on Monday. Nice one. Um, yeah, it's a good. this time of year, it's a good time to just sit back and think about what went well in the garden, what didn't go so well, and that's what I've been doing a lot. I mean, there's some plants that I grew this year, and I know I'm not going to grow again, and there's some plants that we used to grow for different reasons, and now they've become like a staple for us. You know, like broad beans. I used to grow them as cover crops, and just for foliage and just for nitrogen fixing qualities. But they've become, since we started eating them a couple of years ago, they've become a real staple, and we're growing them all over the place. Um, it's too wet to get out here at all. I've been doing my growing list instead. See, that this is another thing about the wet weather. Do you know right now there's so much water in the soil that every time you press your foot on the soil, it's squelching. Now, one of the things that I've been doing is I've been going around the garden today and thinking, where does my water pool up? Where do I get a lot of water, gathering in the garden? And there's a couple of places where I'm thinking I'm gonna dig a small swale there or a small trench, and it's not going to act like it's not going to act exactly like a swale. The aim is going to be to just collect water when it's wet. So any of that surface water that we've got right now, because there's water on the surface that's not soaking into the soil. So what I'm hoping to do is just funnel it into these trenches and let it just sit at the bottom of the beds. And then what I'm going to do is I'll probably build like a bridge or something over the top of the trenches, and then backfill over the top of that, and then these underground areas where I've disturbed and filled with mulch, I'm gonna just act to like soakaways, and that way, they'll allow the water to go into the soil a lot easier. They'll collect the water, but at the same time, I can grow in that space as well. So it's something that I've been thinking about, and the same thing that I'm going to do on my garden beds, because I'm doing is I'm slowly doing away with garden paths, and as I'm doing away with garden paths, what I'm thinking about doing is where I mentioned I've got wooden planks to walk on. I'm thinking of just putting a trench just in front of that. I can still grow in the trench, but that trench is going to just soak up any surface water and just act like a little swale that's going to, get water penetrating into the ground a little bit more. So that's one of the things you can achieve with swales as well. You can, where you've got a lot of water. I mean, obviously, if it's flooding, it's a completely different story. But what you can do is you can direct your water, and where you've got a lot of soakiness and wetness, I think you can get rid of some of that. Amla gooseberry is used for hair. Oh, okay, I'm loyal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm loyal. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. As soon as do you know, when Amla gooseberry, don't, I've not, I don't know the two things put together, but Amla, yes, gooseberry, yes, but I didn't know it was called Amla gooseberry. I'm gonna have to have a look at Amla gooseberry. So Trotter, I'm in Wales, and it's far too wet and windy to venture out of the garden at the moment. Yeah, see, I was doing a bit of research about some of the areas in Wales, and some of the areas there are the wettest part of the UK. Because I'm still dreaming about this small holding. One day I want to be on a small holding. I want to be on a bit of land. Um, I'd love. I don't want to go any further north, because the further north you go, the colder it gets. I wouldn't mind. I think I'm as north as I want to be. I wouldn't mind a little bit further south, but not too south. I don't want to get into the Midlands or anywhere near that. Um, yeah, I like where I am actually. If I could find somewhere between on the edge of Bradford, around Keighley, around somewhere like that, it'd be a dream. I'd love it. I'd love it. Laura, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Have a great week. Yeah, I'm still dreaming of that small holding. One day, I want to be on that small holding, and with a few animals, with a few sheep, a few goat. I've got, I play with these ideas all the time, and what I'd do with land if I had the land, and yeah, we'll see. One day maybe. A lady gave me some dry amla gooseberry seeds this year, and told me there were over 92 minerals and vitamins in them, and great for immunity. I was under the impression they were used for tea, etc. Um, so I'm gonna have to have a look at these amla gooseberries. I'll ask my mum about them, see if she knows them. Kasim, we start at 8 o'clock, man. Every week, 8 o'clock. Stealing, see, is something that I've been dreaming about for a while, and I've got a couple of things in. There's a couple of things that I'm thinking that if I can pull off, then one day maybe I think if this achar business kicks off, then we've got a chance. We've got a chance that we might do it. Um, this the way that achars have been selling has been absolutely phenomenal. I never expected them to go as well as we done. Um, it's been a month, exactly a month, and I've sold 750 bottles or 750 jars, or and absolutely phenomenal. It's gone absolutely phenomenal. Um, I just need to work on a way of getting my margins a little bit bigger because my margins are really small. Yeah, my margins are quite small actually. Um, so everyone's sharing this stream. Everyone's sharing this stream. What thing do we call you? We need you to go live on a farm and run residential courses, so we can learn direct from you and enjoy delicious organic barbecue too. Do you know what? I planned on doing a live stream last year. Not a live stream. I planned on doing like a garden party last year, but was it last year? The year COVID started. So 2020, I think it. I think yeah, 2020. That summer I was supposed to do an open garden where everyone can come in and visit and we'll have a couple of lectures. We'll have a little bit of a planting. We'll have some food and have a bit of fun. I was hoping to do that last year, but once this COVID thing's over, then it's definitely on the table. You can come up to my house anytime. I mean, someone came around the other day to buy some pickles. I mean, she lives in Leeds, just down the road, and she popped in. She asked if she could pop over and pick some pickles up. Yeah, I said fine. So I took her for a little tour around the garden and just started, gardening chat. But when I'm talking about the garden, I can just chit chat all day. I can just yeah be out there and enjoy it. Have a good little banter. Yeah. Do you like cats and would you get one? Um, do I like cats? I love cats. Yeah, I love cats. Would I get one? Um, my mum doesn't want any in the house at the moment. My mum wouldn't want one. Otherwise, I'd get one. Um, yeah, I would get one. If my mum said yes, then I'd get one. But at the moment, she's a things are a little bit awkward, so I can't get one. Um, I'm planning on incorporating planting perennials, some vegetables on the plot next year. Experiment to see what it's like, starting with cardoons, and everlasting onions. See, um, perennial veg is the way to go. I mean, perennial veg, perennial things that planting things that you're going to enjoy to eat as well. I think some of the easiest perennials, things like potatoes, things like onions, like you mentioned, some of the garlics that you can, you get the wild garlic. So I grow a lot of wild garlic in my garden. I grow a lot of normal garlic in my garden, and then you can alternate between the two. But perennials are a good way to go. One thing that is in the Permi movement quite a bit is going perennial, but at the same time, you've got to enjoy it. If you're growing stuff that you don't enjoy eating and you don't like eating, it takes the fun out of it and it turns it into a chore. So yes, grow stuff that's going to be there and you're going to be able to pick from it all the way a year through, but also grow things that are going to keep you interested and keep you excited about it. I love putting a seed in the ground and watching that seed come up. Yeah, I love just I love doing stuff like that. I'm not someone. I'm not. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm not the type of person that can just sit in the garden. Do you know, if I'm in the garden and it's a nice day and there's nothing to do, I'll find something to do. I can't just sit and or lie down in the garden. I'm quite a bit of a fidget. Um, Wales have a scheme to help people with finances for sustainable living, or at least they used to. See, I looked at that. I looked at that. See, do you know when you're saying start a commune, right? This is the idea that I've got, right? Do you know if I, do you know a small holding with a three-bedroom, four-bedroom house, and maybe 10 acres of land costs £500,000 easily. And for most of us, that's way beyond the dreams. But if we can get 10 people or 15 people, we could probably buy a 100 acre, 150 acre farm for just over £1 million. And between 10, 15 people, you're talking less than 100 grand or less than 100 grand. And yes, there's only one house, but if we divvy that one, if we put some static caravans on there and we stick some static, mobile homes on there, and then we've got, we've built a little village for ourselves, and we've done it on a lot cheaper than for the dream for most people. Um, I mean, at £500,000, I'll never get there. Do you know that sort of money? It's way beyond most our dreams. But if we do it together, a load of us do it together, then it's a lot more manageable. And honestly, if people are interested, then get this conversation going with me. Join in with my tribe. Join building my village with me. Because honestly, I'm gonna do it. I just need to find the people to do it with. And if we can do it together on 100 acres, 10 families on 100 acres, just imagine what we could achieve. It'd be absolutely amazing. Yeah, it'd absolutely be amazing. Just imagine what we could achieve. We could build a little empire within the UK. It'd be phenomenal. We built, one person being in charge of electricity, one person being in charge of generating our own gas or building our gas, someone in charge of doing growing vegetables, someone in charge of growing fruit, and everyone working together and building, feeding each other, selling the excess to bring money back in and build it up. Yeah, I think we could do it. We just need to find the right people. Um, how are you doing? Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Yurts and log cabins and shepherd huts. See, Monday, you're on my wavelength, man. You're absolutely on my wavelength. See, we just stick some even a static caravan can be really comfortable. Some of them are really luxury items. We stick a few of those on, or we build a few of those. We can do it. Um, I'm a fidget too, so the plot is being split. A small part for perennials and the rest for non. See, this is basically what I've done. I mean, there's a lot of perennials that you stick in and forget about, um, and yeah, douse and drill for your own water. Um, See, this is, do you know, what what you're talking about there? We build a massive pond at the top of the massive reservoir pond thing at the top of the land. Let it fill with water and build a little stream from that to a pond at the bottom, and that irrigates the land as you go in. You build grey water recycling systems. You're composting your own manure as well as animal manure. There's so much we can do. We just need the people. If people are, no, honestly, it's an offer. If people are interested in doing something like that with me, I want to build a small community who's ready to do it with me. I'm ready. Um, I've had enough. I've had enough of being stuck in the city. I've had enough of being stuck in an office. I want to get out, and I want to. I'd love to do this for a living. I'd love to do this for a life. and build mini eco-friendly houses with huge land. That will be, see, Ahmed, if you want to, when you're back, um, yeah, if you're up for it, let's find some people. Let's do it. Sustainable community living. That's fantastic. There's some fantastic. See, uh, in Wales, Wales is way ahead of the rest of the world, rest of the UK. I think. Um, yeah, we've all had enough of the systems we will currently see. I think what you just mentioned there. The systems at the moment are not geared towards people. I was on a radio show a few weeks ago, and they were talking about the school protests and how the school protests are a wrong thing. The kids shouldn't be going out of school to protest around climate change. And for me, they wouldn't let me speak at that point, so they wouldn't give me the mic to speak. But for me, kids need to know that it's okay to break the rules. Rules are there, fine, and they're good a way of controlling people. But when the rules are wrong, we need to be ready to break those rules. We need to be able to. We need to be. We need to stand up and say no. Enough's enough. You stop. Right now, society is geared towards those with power and those, the elite. They're not geared. It's not there. It's not built to support ordinary people. It doesn't matter which side of politics you're on. The whole system's rigged. It's not rigged for us. It's rigged for those in power. It's not. It's not there to support us and build us up. So, um, so it's not. Yeah, it's not there to build us up. So we need to. We need to build ourselves up. We need to. I think. I think this sort of way of society that it is at the brink of collapse. People are starting to rebel and people are starting to change things. But I think we need to, take a step back. Shh. I think we need to take a step back and just withdraw from it. You need a poo, right, guys? Before I go off on my political rant and my revolution, don't go. I thought you needed a poo.
I don't go.
Don't
After
go.
I finish this.
Okay, after you finish this, then we're gonna go.
Okay, bye.
So have you ever visited the Eden Project? I haven't visited it. It's one thing that it's on my bucket list. I will do it. You have to question it at all times. Absolutely, rules are there. Yeah, especially when they're wrong. Maruf Ahmed, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for coming in. Come here, sit up. Well, it's been great seeing you. Howie, you take care, and I'll see you again. Revolution Speak to take a little one for number 2. Yeah, I think on that note, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it. We can pick up the revolution next week. Again, same time here and same place. 8 o'clock UK time. I don't know what time that is for the rest of you, but I hope you join us. I'm gonna leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.